have gallery view, which is the porn view where you can see the two people fucking each other, and you have the speaker view, which is just you, like, or whoever is
Oh
speaking in
man,
the moment.
when I used to watch your conversations, you were talking the same way, and it feels good, like the way you are talking.
I'm the same motherfucker, man. It is just that I think most people have different characters in front of different stages or with different people. I personally do not see a point of that. I mean, we we rather don't just live a particular character. We live a particular life at a particular time. So, if you know about the vision of the free man, one of the mission statements is to enable every man to live 100 lives in one life. So, if you look at me, I'm a writer, I'm a poet, I'm a creator, I'm a speaker, I'm a bunch of fucking things which these people try to lovely, put a label on me. But you cannot put a label on a human being. That is
Yeah.
commoditizing humanity and commercializing people, because that's what you're seeing today, right? You're seeing every Tom, Dick, and Harry right under their profiles on social media that I'm XYZ or I'm ABC. Then you should never come to those platforms, because you should rather be in a marketplace. But that's what the platforms have become. They're no longer places for free expression and creativity, you know? So it's sad, but that's why we kind of made our own platform. And now also whatever else is there, I will fucking leave from these fuck all places. They really piss me off.
I mean, so Siraj, related to this only,
Sarhad, Sarhad.
Sarad, yeah, I
Yes.
completely understand what you're trying to do. I mean, but don't you think that social media is for a guy like you is a necessary evil? I mean, I know Sirhud Kalra because of social media, because of YouTube. I didn't know you personally. My
You
friend
know me
recommended it.
because of social media, but then more people are not getting to know me again because of social media, because it's controlled via algorithms which are
Yeah,
dictated via the agendas, which are dictated via the people running those companies, as well as the people running the rest of the fucking world. That's why right now you will see, just yesterday, Pfizer, the company which made the vaccine,
mm,
has been
vaccine.
exposed
Yeah,
for something called directed evolution. And then that thing was put up on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. YouTube took it down immediately as soon as it hit 800,000 views, and it hit those views like that. All right. Twitter, it went till a 20 million. Later on, the same company called Project Veritas. Veritas is a Latin word. It means truth, Veritasium, or like the truth serum or stuff like that. They then did a sting operation with the YouTube people. All right, that why did you delete this video? And then they put that up also, and then YouTube deleted it straight away. These are not places where you are in power. These are places which are all the time exercising their power over you to such an extent that it will take you probably 1 decade of self examination to figure out how the fuck they fuck with your brains 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Today, you have a bunch of young Indian teenagers, males, who are getting into self improvement. But the reason why they're getting into self improvement is because, again, it's another illusion which has been sold to them, that this is how you will become better than other people. This is how you will win. This is how you will get ahead. This is how you compete. Straight away, you have lost the sole motive of self improvement. It should be to improve the self, not to compete yourself with another self. Does that make sense? Resume this. You were telling me, like when I started speaking, so forget what I said. You can hear it later.
yeah,
What I started speaking in before that, when you said that, man, you're the same person, something, and then you were telling me about your friend or
yeah, yeah.
something. So let's resume from there. Tell me, what were you saying?
I mean, yeah. So like you said that you hate social media apps because of their algorithm, and I completely agree with you. As a 21-year-old, I know what it is doing to my generation and my brain. I completely agree with you. But what I've seen is that, but like for a guy like you, it is a necessary evil because I got to know about Sarath Kalra because of YouTube, and so That's what I want to know, that how will it work if you leave all these platforms? How the rest of my friends will know that someone like you exists?
I mean, if you want to look at it in a very shitty, regular world way, basically, I will become so big that people will come looking for me wherever the fuck I am.
Yeah, that's one point of view.
My work should be able to have that much of an impact. Otherwise, if I'm just somebody who you would like to connect with on a screen, yes, you will get to learn. Yes, you will get to whatever benefit in whichever way possible. But I mean, what do I care? And then what do even you care after a particular point? What I care about is people who are willing to make a move in order to basically dive deeper into whatever it is that they want to dive into. Because normally, what happens is that most people would just connect to somebody via a screen, and yes, they would watch, and yes, they would consume, and yeah, but when are you actually living it? Until you've started living it, you're just another influencer. It's just that you are not creating content, you're the one consuming. But either way, you're just stuck in con tent. You're stuck in that tent within which conmanship is being sold both to the student and via fake gurus. So yes, I understand why you say that for a guy like you, wouldn't social media be a necessary evil? It was necessary and now it has become evil. So that's why I cannot continue with it for way too long if it doesn't change itself, because my principles do not match with it. And I would rather build my own platform, or I'd rather I would just move to another platform where people are wise enough to know that, okay, these are the platforms where there are no algorithms. If I'm connect, like right now, I was shadow banned on Instagram for a month and a half. I did not even know it. And I haven't even said shit on Instagram for a long time. 2020, I was trying to spread awareness about the
Yeah,
vaccine. And there was a friend of mine who was also doing that. And she got shadow banned full on for a year. Like her account just froze, like my YouTube. All right. And then, like, I didn't realize what happened to my account in the past 1.5 months because I did not speak about the vaccine or anything. Then why the fuck did they fuck with me? So you know what I did? I became a fucking influencer and I created two reels by myself. Those latest two reels you would have seen, one with a statue of a woman, all right,
yeah, yeah.
and one where a woman's panties are down her legs. Those two fucking reels I created myself. That fuckers, you are trying to ban us, motherfuckers. You run because of us. So I used their formulas and fucking made these two reels. And while being shadow banned, I got 35 and 40K fucking views. These choots don't know shit. They run on our backs. We are the people because of whom their fucking companies run. And they think they can fucking play God. They need a reality check. Today, if girls stop using Instagram, their business model fucking falls flat because
Yeah,
it's an OnlyFans light. It's not fucking Instagram anymore. It used to be a place to
yeah,
share beautiful photographs. It was a place for photographers. And it was a place where, as soon as people started getting good quality cameras in the smartphones, they could share their own creative eye. None of that happens today. So then, why the fuck should I help that company make money when it is trying to leech me and, totally beseech me after that? Why should I be a part of that crime? So it was necessary, but now it has become evil. And that's why you'll see that I'm, migrating. I mean, one, for masculinity, I already knew that we need a dedicated place. This fucking YouTube is not worth it. So that's why we made TFM. Give me some time, man. I want to get warmed up because this took a lot of time. So first of all, it took some time to realize that these places are not meant for serious education, and that's why I built TFM. And now I'm going to do that with my own name because I killed my own name in order to give birth to TFM. But besides that, there's Telegram, and there's a whole bunch of new social media platforms coming in which are without censorship and without algorithms. There is Rumble, there is Odyssey, there is Vero as an alternative to Instagram. And in the West, everybody in the general population is already aware of the censorship that these fuckers do. In India, these fucks are sleeping. Indians don't know jack shit. They come to know about everything at the end because all they fucking waste time doing is imitating the fucking Goras, imitating the West. So the West has already woken up. And there is a massive divide in society over there. Let's say in the Americas, there is a massive divide between the Reds and the Blues, the Democrats and the Republicans. But in India, they are still sleeping. Let them sleep. It's not my fucking responsibility to wake them up. My responsibility is to do my fucking shit. And whoever loves to join in on the journey, like, they're more than welcome. But it's no longer, our responsibility to try to wake people up, because by now in society, all the lies are screaming at us. They're in front of us. And if even then people can't wake up by themselves, then maybe that's what natural selection is meant to do. Get rid of them. Maybe they are not smart enough, or maybe while being smart enough, they are too much of a slave. you know so we are no ones to play god. Evolution will take care of itself.
So, sir, you were talking like, evolution will take place and this will end. But do you think it is also because there are very few guys like you who was in India who was uh, educating people about these things?
I
I mean,
personally
I
don't know
see.
anyone else. I'm sure there must be somebody, but I
Yeah,
personally don't know anybody else.
no, that's what I'm trying to say. Apart from you, there's nothing. There's no name I can recall that
Yeah.
who must be saying that these algorithms are working. And so, do you think it's in India also that revolution stage has not started till yet?
To be honest, India is being plunged deeper into the matrix right now. uh, with the current government and everything, people think that they are the saviors because a lot of it is based around religion. But to be
Yeah,
honest, it is under the disguise of saving our original religion, which is not really a religion but a way of life, Sanatan Dharma, that
yeah.
a lot of the current leaders in the political scenario of India are actually servants of the bigger masters who are running the world. And what they're trying to do is make the average Indian think that, yes, finally somebody's thinking about us. But no, under that disguise, they are installing facial recognition at airports. Under that disguise, they are gonna fucking bring in electric vehicles. Under that disguise, everything which is being done at a global level of agenda, from Davos to Soros, all of those fucking things are going to be done in India as well. So, to be honest, there is no leader who is going to save us. It's the most stupid myth that humanity has believed in since forever, which is the hero. There is no hero today. They are all fucking zeros, but they are in the top positions. All right. Now those motherfuckers are gonna do shit for us because they're only focused on stuffing their coffers up with more and more funds and corruption. But the truth is that if humanity wants to save ourselves, we need to wake up at an individual level where we become sovereign beings. All right. Where me as an individual, I take ownership and leadership of my life by myself and become sovereign as a human being. Automatically, I will start using cash more than using UPI. Automatically, I will stop giving more and more information to these fucking pieces of shit because they are fucking surveillance machines. This fucking phone and a fucking phone over here, they together, along with this machine and the fucking internet connection of this office, act as a grid. And because of that, proper grid, my parents don't know as much about me as the internet knows about me, as the Israeli intelligence knows about me, as the government knows about me. My parents wouldn't know that much. That is a massive invasion of privacy at the level of the individual. That is a massive invasion of rights, whether human constitutional rights or natural born rights. We are at war. Nobody understands. Everybody is fucking sleeping and they're still scrolling and liking. But we are at war. It is war. It is happening. And we will see it materialize more and more as time goes on. And for a lot of people, it will be very late by then.
So, don't you think it would be a little easy if you fight from inside that kingdom? If you stay on Instagram and upload these things. I mean, if I upload this 13-second shot of yours on Insta of saying that how internet is fucking with us with its algorithm, would
Yeah.
it help another 100? guys like
No,
me?
because the number one thing which happens before whatever you will upload will be shown to another person is that first of all, the AI scans the entire set of information. It scans whether this is being spoken. It scans whether what is being spoken. It scans for the diction. It scans for the meaning. It scans for the prerogative. It scans for hidden meanings. It scans at such deep levels. Like everybody right now is thinking, right, that fuck AI, will it be a good thing or will it be a scary thing? It
Yeah.
already exists in a very scary way. Just that we, being the end consumers, do not get exposed to the latest technology, and whatever the news shows us, such as Elon Musk is putting chips in people's brains. Fuck that, chips in people's brains are being put since ages. All right. Whatever we come to know about is 100 years old, at least, minimum. Okay. Whatever we come to know, like we are sold, I gave this example somewhere, we are sold this iPhone 14 Pro, whatever jack shit, as if wow, 14 is the latest. No, man, they are at 114 right now in terms of the technology which is available to them. And this is, I'm talking about a corporation. That's number one. Number two is the military industrial complex. They have technology which is far more sophisticated than what the topmost corporations have. All right. Number three is people who fund and run both the military industrial complex as well as the corporations. And these people have technology which is helping them remain immortal, partially. They have technology which is so sophisticated that we cannot even fathom it. And a bunch of it would actually probably, most probably, would have come from extraterrestrials. Because again, that is something which people are still discussing. Do aliens exist? Do they not exist? Just
Mm.
imagine how stupendously egoistic it is to imagine that in a universe full of billions of stars and planets, we are the only motherfuckers who can jack off, masturbate, and watch porn. You think there are not other fucking species and galaxies with civilizations running in them? How fucking egoistic of a human being to think like that, you know? And there is so
Yeah.
much on earth, such as there is this gentleman called Robert Edward Grant. You can check out his work. He's a mathematician, and every day he keeps studying the great pyramids of Egypt deeper and deeper, and he's getting shocked because of the things which he finds out, such as the measurements of the pyramids, how they form proper proportions and ratios to things in the sky, how they form particular formulas, how they act as a bunch of different mathematically measurable things, or things which are related to light and sound. So the keys to the universe are stored in things which existed way before humanity even discovered science. But on the back of science, they make a chuti out of us. They make a fool out of us. Whereas science is nothing great, in my opinion. It is just a fancy fucking sounding word for people who want to come across as I'm qualified to speak on this. I know so many people who are qualified as doctors, but I would never say that they can ever be qualified as a healer, because there's a major difference between a doctor and a healer. Not all doctors are healers and not all healers are doctors.
Yeah.
So the world we live in is so fabricated in terms of the way we perceive it, that we need like, I mean, I personally don't care much right now, but like honestly, if you want to bring a change, you need to destroy every possible system which already exists, whether it's politics, whether it's education, whether it's healthcare. They're all built to commercialize, commoditize, and enslave a human being, and totally limit the scope of their intelligence and divinity.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, I had some other ideas related to this conversation, but now listening to you, and I'm thinking related to AI, I always had these things, yeah. But you know, as we are, if we talk about AI, the only thing we are listening is will it take a job or not? But your opinion is very, very different from it.
I don't have opinions. I just try to discover truth or get as much closer to it as possible. The moment I think it's my opinion, it's already colored by my ego. Because I could be somebody who's a believer in something, such as there are doctors who belong to the healthcare industry, and just because they belong to it and it's attached to their ego as a label. They fucking believe that the vaccine is God sent, God fucking sent. And now people are dropping dead. People are dropping dead, like 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds. All of a sudden, either the heart is stopping to work or a stroke is taking place. And this is not even begun. The actual deaths have not even begun. It's horrendous. It's really horrendous and it's such a big crime. It's worse than the fucking, like, it's worse than anything that's been done on humanity up until now, in my opinion.
So, I mean, according to you, all these vaccine things were really a conspiracy.
Nothing is a conspiracy, man. What is a conspiracy? Like today, we are living in a time we are just figuring out that the conspiracy theorists were the realists. And the people who we thought were realists are actually the idiots. But anyway, fuck this topic. What did you want to talk to me about? What questions do you have?
I had very simple topics, to be honest, and now I'm considering like, should I ask them or not?
That's
So I
completely
wanted to
fine.
have a
Don't be afraid.
uh,
Don't be shy.
no,
Just
it's
no
not.
matter,
It's
like, never
yeah,
never think that, like, for example, sense you getting a little nervous because of the breakage in the internet and stuff. Fuck that shit, man.
yeah,
I know you're not doing it on purpose. All right.
yeah.
So I'm not getting pissed at you. Number one. Number two, I'm pissed anyway since morning today. All right. So that's
No,
a
it's
different.
the thing that is irritating me is that I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm really,
I
but because of
understand.
this
And the
internet,
flow
it's
is good.
breaking
I
the
understand.
flow.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Chill. See, you're 21. All right. No matter whether you're 1 or 21 or 61, like, just be naked. All right. Just be naked in every
Yeah.
sense. Then nobody can fuck with you. If I slip and fall in a party in front of everyone, and if I laugh before everyone else laughs, automatically everyone else will laugh lesser because I already took most of the fun away. All right. But if we fall, we immediately try to, either act as if something made me fall, or, fuck, like my attention was in there, and we try to cover it up, whether in life, whether in any particular situation. But people can catch it, because unfortunately people are also oriented towards catching others more than catching themselves. So anyway.
So you talked about being naked, and you know what I say is that 20-year-old, 21-year-old, we guys have not even started our journey, and I don't know why we are so conscious of our image. We have not even built something, and we are always conscious of our image. That like I'm to be honest, when I started this podcast, I was very conscious that what I'll do, and will I be able to speak fluently with my guest or not, and so like, how can we be naked?
Maybe it's a good idea to do a round of self questioning, that why the fuck am I conscious in the first place? So when I was in my previous career, consulting,
Yeah.
to answer any question, we used to ask three whys. All right. This is a very simple, let's say, tool in consulting, the three whys. So, like, if you ask me this question itself, that, I was very conscious, and like, but how can we stop being conscious? And then if I ask you, okay, why do you want to stop being conscious? What answer do you have?
uh, because it hinders my growth, to be honest.
Okay. So you want to stop being conscious because you think it's hindering your growth. Okay. Why do you want to have growth?
uh, I have some goals and I want to achieve them.
Okay. Third why. Why do you have goals?
I don't know. I have a
That's it. That's
image
your
that
answer.
if
That's your answer. You said it. I don't know. Those were the first words out of your mouth after hesitation. So that's your honest truth. Because whatever you say after that will be to cover up for the I don't know, to
yeah,
sound to make sure that you don't sound stupid. Whatever you say after I don't know
yeah,
will be to make sure that you don't come across as stupid to somebody else. Now, fuck coming across as stupid to somebody else. If you're stupid in your own eyes, then what the fuck are we all trying to do to act smart in front of other people? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like this, you can end up questioning yourselves in every aspect of whichever dilemma we have in life. This is one very simple tool, and luckily I picked it up from my previous career, you know. But to be honest, with most of the stuff that people are trying to do, if they will simply spend some time having an honest conversation with themselves, most of the times they will recognize there is no reason to even do this thing in the first place. Just like so much of human action, like I have this writing, I don't know whether I've shared it on my Telegram channel or not. Are you there on my Telegram?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. So there is, I don't know whether I've shared this over there, but I've written literally 99.9% of all human activity or actions are, in the direction of furthering your ahankar or your ego. So right now, when I ask, these questions, but if you sit with yourself and you will do this cross examination against yourself, most of the times you will not reach any actual substance. Sooner or later, you will have no answer. Because that is the moment when you catch yourself that, oh, fuck, I was lying to myself. Why the fuck do I want to have goals? Like, what is there to do? Let's just say, if you want to make it a nihilistic question or you want to make it a existential crisis, all right? But if you think about it in a lot of different ways, you can keep asking why, or you can basically keep having a conversation with yourself to the point where you will realize that most of the things which you try to do, including the way your hair is, including the way you started this podcast, that that most of those actions will probably be support systems to further propagate your idea about yourself, which is your ego. It is an idea you have about yourself. So, in order to actually know yourself, you need to first get rid of the ideas that you have about yourself, because those ideas will end up clouding clear vision. Like I speak with so much confidence. Why? Not because I'm something, it's because I know I'm nothing. Like no matter how much great I do, and if I go like what after maybe 500 years, 1,000 years, 5,000 years, like who the fuck is going to remember, man? So why do I fight so hard in my mortal 80 years, 70 years of life to try to become immortal in front of a lot of other people? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why do we put so much stress on ourselves? That I want to be great, I want to have goals, I want to hustle, I want to do this, I want to do that. Do it for the fucking fun of it, man. Do it like just yesterday I was, I went to the gym after at least a 1 week break because I was traveling and then I felt a little sick. And I saw this lady doing or learning how to do something like a dragon flag. It's a calisthenics move. And there is this gentleman at the gym from whom, I'm learning some new stuff. And I told him, you know what, man, I want to try to do that. Or like, I want to be able to do that. He's like, oh, fuck, you want to get into Cali and this? And I was like, no, I don't want to get into Cali. I just want to do that. He's like, but that will require a whole different form of training and stuff. I was like, I will train the way I anyways train. Combined with that, I will put in whatever I need to do in order to learn that. I don't need to suddenly change my entire lifestyle, become a calisthenics boy, and try to jump on the next trend of fitness which is coming into India, which is that now instead of regular gym footage, other footage is getting popular. People are attempting parkour, people are attempting calisthenics,
Mm.
people are attempting CrossFit. So, whatever is novelty, it looks different on the gram, that becomes the latest trend. Okay. So right
Yeah.
now you don't have too many fitness girls in India. So all of a sudden now everywhere you will start seeing fitness girls and their Instagrams.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Okay. So now what they are going to do is follow the footsteps of the feminists and they are going to hit the hammer on their own fucking hand. जो हिंदी में बोलते हैं अपने ही पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मार देंगे. Because then
Mm.
all of them will do this so much that all of a sudden there will be an overabundant supply of these women. And then nobody is going to care much because everybody will look just like another copy paste formula. So even the viewers, the ones who are right now feeding their ego, they're crowdsourcing ego from people on the gram. So right now, even the viewers who are, fueling them will sooner or later be like, ah, fuck, it's the same shit. Move away, move away, move away. Why are you laughing?
Let me tell you a funny story.
Let's go.
I mean, yeah, yeah. So I I opened my Instagram account last year, and usually before that my interaction was only based on my direct approach with girls, only because I didn't use Instagram and I didn't just get that app. So, but when I opened the installed the app, it fucked with my mind, and I was like on my search feed, girls, 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 because algorithm works that way only. I saw that Instagram girls, fitness girls, and they were hot, and I was like, man. So Instagram saw that I'm spending much time on this. So now what is happening is that on my Instagram page, on search feed, 15 there are 15 images, and 13 of them are of girls. So at first I used
Yeah.
to get very excited, yeah, yeah, I used to get very excited. I used to go and stalk them, but now it's it doesn't give me that dopamine dopamine rush. For me it is very normal now, and so I'm getting what you are trying to say.
With me, though, it makes me vomit. When I open this fucking app, if I by mistake, first of all, it's very hypnotic. It'll suck you in.
Yeah,
All right. It'll suck you in and you won't even realize because it's straight away hitting every corner of your most animalistic instincts. All right. So if all apps could be measured on a scale of consciousness or frequency based on emotions, this would be one of the lowest fucking things, but the most used. All right. Now it's so hypnotic that when people nowadays catch themselves, oh fuck, I've been scrolling for 1 hour or half an hour,
yeah,
they feel disgusted. I personally feel pukish even after 5 seconds on it. All right. Because it's fucking disgusting. Like, I don't even want to get into it because everybody knows it.
no,
But
I know,
while
yeah,
everybody knows it, they still further propagate it. They still participate. Because today a human being does not value their own time or attention, their dhyan, that much. They value their bank balance more than where their attention is going. They value which car they are driving more than where their attention is going. All right. So
yeah,
it's, if you think about it, every human being right now, or rather the majority, is stuck in a cyclical loop from which they cannot get out. And that cyclical loop is of them destroying their own probabilities of life experience in this life. Because every day, instead of just opening it 10 times a day and scrolling for 10 minutes, those 100 minutes, you could have, in all of those pockets, opened up an ebook on that same motherfucking phone and done 10 minutes of reading. So
yeah,
luckily with me, the time when I got into self improvement, this, Titstagram hadn't been born. So I used technology to fucking devour knowledge. I used to read like a motherfucker. Like, you guys have seen in some of the clips, like when, in my coaching calls, that there is a small bookshelf over here.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
that's
know.
nothing, my brother. That's nothing. When I moved house from the last house, I had 3 trucks of books come out of that fucking house. Now, all of them were not mine because my father and brother are doctors. So a lot of that was educational stuff in terms of their fields, but just my family reads a lot. And that's what came out. Like 3 trucks of fucking books came out. I have hard disks just with like ebooks and, digital prints of like old books. And like now I don't read because I don't get time. Now I'm more of a writer than a reader, but like I remember from the age of 14, my usage of the internet was just hardcore, studying blogs, studying so many fucking things. I made like, people make their
Yeah,
parents, when their kids spend money on a lot of stuff. I all of a sudden was just forcing my parents to, buy books, like actual books, and they are expensive. Like, if you want to buy paper books now, they are very expensive. But
yeah,
like,
No, I
I
know this.
mean, yeah, but like, I mean, I think if a man has a library, he can spend his entire lifetime in it, you know.
So, do you think your mentality, your philosophy has been because of how many books you have read from an early childhood?
100%, I would say that would definitely have had an influence because, I mean, I was quite a kida man from the start. Like I was a little, on my own. Uh, Within school itself, I had lived a bunch of different lives. Normally in school, either somebody is a good performer, or somebody is a naughty kid, or somebody is the introvert, shy, quiet person. I was everything, like in different phases. So, like, I think the number one influence in my life has been just my name. And without me knowing it, that my life's work is to dissolve every possible sarhad which exists within me and outside of me.
Okay, now I got the another word what your name means, Sarhad.
Yeah,
Boundary. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And that would be my goal, even with the human beings that I work with, that I help them dissolve into boundlessness, because most of us are confined by boundaries, whether drawn up by us, whether drawn up by society, whether drawn up by family, whether drawn up by childhood, whatever it is. So I think after spending, almost 3 decades breathing, shitting, fucking, and studying, I realized that actually my entire life is like a theme around my name. And that really shocked me, because I was like, holy shit, like, if I would have realized this a long time ago, then every time I was breaking past a boundary, I would have just known the purpose for it, and hence I would have had lesser pain, because we are so comfortable staying within boundaries. There is an experiment. There are two
Yeah.
jars. There are two jars where this whoever is the person running the experiment, they put a bunch of fleas in it,
Flies. Yeah.
and in one they seal the top, and in the other they don't seal the top, and fleas can jump very high. So in those two jars, the ones who were kept shut for a while, they would jump only till the lid, and in the other one they would keep
Yeah.
jumping, like, and they would get out also. But when after like a day, or after some preset amount of time, this guy opened the lid, and all of a sudden there was no roof above them, but the fucking fleas would not leave the jar anymore.
Yeah.
So that is us. That is why today, if I think, like, right now, just look at this, man, there's a flea fucking flying over here right now. If I would think that I'm more superior than that fucking flea, that's it, I'm gone, I've lost. It contains the same amount of intelligence I do, because we are using only this much percentage of our actual intelligence, you know so yeah.
You know, I've heard about this experiment, and it made me mind that how, society, some beliefs that society has made to believe, and how how they are hindering us to achieve our real potential. And you asked me earlier why you started your podcast. As an 18-year-old, I had beliefs that I could do only some things, like after my college I can get a job. It will be
Yeah.
a high paying, but I thought that my life is uh, finished after this. It's nothing more I can do. But when I listened to the podcast of Joe Rogan's, and that
Hmm.
guy, he when he was talking about these things, and that made me realize that no, like
Hmm.
these are self beliefs, and you have to destroy them. You have to unlearn things before you have to unlearn various things before start learning new things.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I wrote recently on Telegram. That most of us are always stuck trying to learn, but if you
Yeah,
think about it, in so many situations, unlearning could be more beneficial than learning.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
To be honest, like at this point of time, I think if anyone wants to self improve in their life, they don't need to learn anything new.
if
They just
anybody
need,
wants to
need to
self
unlearn
improve,
various
number
things.
one, they should not create accounts on YouTube and Instagram
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Because the moment they'll do that, all right, they enter a world where hierarchy is set by numbers, all right, rather than by what they actually are talking about, or do these people even know anything? All right. So if you will see the Indian YouTube industry and you will examine it over the past 10 years, most of the people today who are at the top in terms of numbers are people who literally picked up the topmost YouTubers of US, copied their formula, and did exactly the same thing. There are people who are, just fucking ranting while gaming in the West, and the same formula they
Yeah.
copied and did over here. There are people in the
Yeah.
West who looked up Google and, took information and then made a video of it, and the people are doing the same thing over here. Indians are fucking copycats and jugadus when it comes to the masses and the janta. Okay. But at the same time, Indians are some of the most intelligent people as well as the cleanest people in terms of the way of living in harmony with nature. But you see, which Indian is more prevalent today? It is the jugadu one. It is not the one who is living, let's say, a Vedic lifestyle. All right. And nobody can give me any shit like, oh, but times are different today. And fuck no, man. Time could be different just by a date. But the sun
Yeah.
still rises in the east and sets in the west. But you're just stuck in the fucking competition of trying to become the best against what? Idiots? Every other jugadu? Fuck. Today, there are people who are into creation content wise, and they
Hmm.
are using tools. They have nothing to express by themselves. They have no substance within them. They just know formulas and they know softwares. And that is the place where AI can never be replaceable. It can never replace true, genuine creativity and expression, because even if you will somehow figure out how to program emotion into AI, if it is working via permutations and combinations, then most probably it will never be genuine emotion. Genuine emotion for us is happening via picking up on the vibe of something, picking up on whichever field. Like right now, I'm sharing a presence with you. All right.
Yeah.
You have not spoken much till now, but I know you a decent bit by now. All right.
Yeah.
Because my focus is on you. All right. So AI can't do that without having to go through data. I have not much data about you and your life, but I don't need data in order to know you well as a spiritual being, if you want to use YouTuberish language. All right. But AI will need data sets and data points about you in order to know you. So, I mean, in some ways, yes, it is good for pure hardcore capitalism and a lot of different businesses where, you know, humans should be replaced. Let's say the Indian judiciary, the most motherfucking corrupt organization in our country, more than the politicians, more than the fucking actors, more than all these fucks. I just saw that one of India's longest standing cases got solved after what, 75 years. The fucking people who would have done those cases would have died by then. Then where's the justice?
Yeah.
There is a saying, right? Justice delayed is justice denied, and that's true in my opinion. I have personally been in, courts in New Delhi, and I've seen how these people are, and I've seen how quickly these court meetings just, I mean, it starts and it's done. They didn't even let people speak. So if this is the system we are running in, why are we still respecting it? Why are we still respecting it? Why do we still say your honor to a judge just because if I don't do it, I would be punished in terms of contempt of court? Does he actually deserve a your honor from me? I have never seen him conduct himself with honor.
Yeah.
There was this one session in this New Delhi consumer court. I was there and I saw this really old man. All right. Like he was what, 87 or 88. The poor guy had come alone from somewhere in Rajasthan to New Delhi, carrying 5 kilos of files. He couldn't fucking walk. He couldn't bend down. He couldn't do anything. This guy has been going up and down between Rajasthan and New Delhi as an old man for 27 years. And his voice was quivering, and he was begging the judge that how much longer, or like what more do you want? I have everything. The opposing party, who's a big company, they did not arrive with the right documents. So this guy like straight away postponed. But that's the fucking trick. If they did not arrive with the right documents, isn't it their fault? They should be punished. They knew about this date 2 3 months in advance. They knew what documents they had to bring. They have more resources than that poor person. But the and something happened which fucking boiled my blood. That judge started making fun of this man. When he started begging him, he started making fun of him, man. He was like, look at yourself, how have you even come, how have you dressed, how have you this. And I was just sitting there with no power to do anything. This is the world we live in. Men with no honor deciding what is honorable and what is not. And you will see this across every industry, whether it's education, whether it's politics, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Bollywood. People with no talent are the highest paid actors. They just overact, or they have just some either some community really loves them and worships them a lot. Where is the talent? Like, those some of the top fucking actors we've had in the past, like I personally didn't see much talent in Bollywood. I see nepotism, and I see, families running the fucking game. That's why people like us are very dangerous for all existing systems. The conversations you are going to try to do in the future, you will have a stage which you will arrive at where you will have to confront yourself that fuck, now it is coming to a scary level. Do I want to continue on my own path, which is my truth, or do I want to fit in into the system? Because let's say your podcast starts becoming big, all right? Let's say you start
Yeah.
enjoying growth. Let's say you have 100,000 listeners. But now to get from 100,000 to a million, use the formulas of the algorithm. Make 7-second reels. Dance like a bitch. Do all those shit, and then 100% you'll reach a million. Or do you go like, fuck that, I'm not going to fucking bow down and give my asshole to these companies to fuck me in the back? You will come to that kind of a stage if you will do this long enough.
No, yeah, I know. So, like you talk about nepotism and families controlling things. But Sarah, tell me one thing. I mean, this is not happening in only this generation, right? This has been happening from, let's say, Mahabharata time, that kings controlling, families controlling everything, and just if like you have the power, you decided to get out of these things, you're doing it. But most of the chunk population don't wanna come out of the matrix, they just wanna live like this.
Yeah. So
So no, that's what I'm trying to know. So like at some point, like
see,
have you
at at
accepted
at
this?
at 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 its most minimized level, your question is that a battle between good and evil has forever been going on.
Yeah,
And that's true. That will always go on because we live in a universe of duality. There are
yeah,
two sides to everything. Right now, I'm speaking like this. People who have been following my work might, there will be people who either believe me blindly, or there will be people who will try to bitch about me or try to, find whatever. There's everything. That is the nature of this particular dimensional existence that we are alive
yeah,
in, that there are two sides. All right. And at its core, those two sides are light and dark, zero and infinity, masculine, feminine. All right.
yeah,
Good and evil. It exists all the freaking time. Okay. So, yes, that has always been going on. But the thing is that when you allow evil to prosper, nobody prospers. As you will have more evil prospering, you will see that ultimately lesser and lesser people are prospering. If you will have good prospering, then you will have more and more people prospering. Because let's say if today I'm super rich, but today I'm in Satyug, all right, I'm in the golden age. Thank you. I'm in the golden age. So if I'm super rich, I will not be super selfish with it. I will just help out whoever needs help.
Yeah.
Everyone prospers. If I'm super rich in Kalyug and an evil time, I will try to hoard it all. I will try to make sure that fucking it should not leave me. This money is mine, even though there is a bald man's face printed on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have my name also written on it. That fucking money also doesn't exist in the first place. But fuck it, that's another lie. But okay, this is how it is. So that balance of good and evil is very important. See, evil is important so that we know the importance of being good. All right. So obviously, it's very difficult to kind of come to a stage in the world where there will be no evil. That's not that possible. At least as far as my awareness of time exists, because if you will look at the Vedic system of time, I have not been able to examine centuries or millennia that I can actually speak confidently on this. So I cannot say that, at one point of time, if it is 100% good or 100% evil. But I do know that good and evil will exist throughout all the time, at least in this particular dimensional reality, and that there will be a fight all the time going on. All right. And why it is necessary to have that fight is so that the importance of both the things can be recognized. Like today, you and I are
Yeah.
sitting and talking, and both of us are qualified to be murderers, man.
Yeah.
You possess the ability to kill something weaker
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah. I know.
I possess the ability to, do some stupid crime, kidnap, rape, whatever. Both of us have that capacity. But as Jordan Peterson says, that women are attracted to men who are capable of danger but don't exercise it.
Yeah. 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 I know.
All right. So if you're capable of danger but you don't exercise it, that is being good. If you're capable of danger and then you're exercising it just because you get a kick out of it or a power trip out of it, then you're a bully.
Yeah. So, like it's known that the persons who get the bullied the most are the ones who don't have the power, right?
Um, I mean, it depends on case to case basis. You know, it
I mean,
depends.
so like you were saying that you have the ability to murder. Let's replace murder through bully. You have the ability to bully someone. You have the ability to bully me. Like, but you are not doing it due to some because you know it's not correct. So no one can bully you, right? No one can bully you, right?
No one can bully me at the ultimate level. They can still bully me at
Yeah,
really stupid
yeah,
levels. Like,
I
if,
understand. Like,
so yeah, I mean, yes, somebody can bully me like our YouTube, right? I personally feel
yeah,
that
yeah, I
our
understand
YouTube
that.
channel has been, frozen via human intervention. There's this another YouTuber who probably got super insecure when he discovered me that this guy will fucking, you know, that little boy has no chance and he sucks their ass a lot. All right, YouTube, Facebook, all of this. So, and also, have somebody big backing them. So I personally feel that okay, they bullied me at a level where okay, they froze our channel and our work cannot reach more men.
Yeah,
And but do you realize that number one, if it bullies me, that means that at some level I was still attached via my ego to my YouTube. Number one.
hmm,
Number
hmm,
two, it makes me realize that wow, these are like after feeling bad about it, then realizing that, but you know what, this is not my battleground. I'm not meant to be a little selfie camera bitch. My actual battleground is the real world. All right. Because if you'll put all of these guys from this YouTube industry on a stage and put me also there, I don't think it'll be tough for people to know, who's the real deal in a lot of ways. So, but that's what, right? So, in another way, that bullying will help me also figure out what my actual battleground is. Because let's say if I'm a young kid and I'm being bullied in school,
Hmm.
am I getting hurt because my peers and my friends are thinking that, oh, look, he got bullied and they're making fun of me? So am I feeling intimidated with peer pressure? Or let's say I get bullied and I get upset about it because that bullying happened in a very unethical manner. Let's say somebody bullied me because of my gender. And when I say gender, I'm talking male, female, and other. I'm not talking LGTB.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even a bad experience, as I said, if you rewind a little bit, that good and evil both are important. So even a bad
Yeah.
experience can help me learn something good. Even if that bad experience was at my expense and somebody was hurting me for it. Because I have the choice that do I want to respond with negativity or do I want to pass on that negativity to someone else, or I will fucking alchemize that negativity into something positive. I always have the choice. So if I was, somebody young and in school and I'm getting bullied, to take a classical example of, school time children bullying each other, then did I feel bad because my friends are thinking that, oh, iski le li, oh, look, they took his case and they're laughing. If that is making me feel bad, then I have a lesson to learn in terms of ahankar, in terms of
Hmm.
my self image. All right. If somebody bullies me and bullies me because I'm a girl and okay, you cannot do this. All right. Then I can feel bad at a human level of, what the fuck, like, but so what if I'm a girl? Even I can, let's say, play sports. Yes, I might not be, competitive with men, but at least why should I not have the right to play sports? All right. So now that can be at the level of right versus wrong. The previous one was at the level of ego. This is at the level of right versus wrong. And like this, there are too many different, situational examples where a good or a bad experience can result in a bunch of different outcomes, but it depends on how you take it. Because you can become a bitch yourself, or you can make sure that, you know, others are not going to be treated like a bitch, or you can make sure that you solve this thing from the root cause. Like some people who go through trauma, they, let's say, create an NGO that I will help others who have gone through trauma. Why the fuck we don't come to the fucking source, the people created causing the trauma? Why don't we try to figure out what is the root cause in them, that they're the cause of the trauma, whether they're sexual offenders, whether they're bullies, whether they're whatever. Like today we know that almost every politician has a criminal record. We know that almost
Yeah.
every politician has funds 100 to 1,000x of what they're entitled to earn. But still out on the streets, people are playing politics based on fanaticism. Whereas they could be like, why don't we try to solve the root cause? Okay, why don't we just stop anyone with a criminal record coming into politics? Now, are they going to do that? How dangerous is that? Just think about it.
So, Sarad, what comes to my mind right now is that, like, as a 21-year-old, my ideology right now is like, when I was 18, I started into a little spirituality and all. And I'm not saying that, I mean, I listened to Sadhguru, to be honest. And that guy introduced me to these things, going beyond physical body and thinking consciously. And now what I think is that if you play if you take your life as a game, if you play it accordingly, not
Yeah.
attaching yourself to things, it it is, I think it then you can it would be great, right? What I'm trying to say is that, like, you are talking about capitalism and money, but to be honest, money is necessary, right? I mean, I am able to connect with you because of money. Like,
Then you're a fool.
am I able to explain my point?
You're able to explain to me that you're a fool.
Like, how?
How the fuck are you bringing money into your ability to connect with me? If you realize you connected with me way before even this podcast, when you heard about me from another human being, humanity is the first instrument of connection, in my opinion, and it comes for free. The best form of marketing is word of mouth.
I mean, I think I gave a wrong
No, no,
example
no,
of
no, no.
connecting.
I understand what you are saying. I understand
Yeah,
what you are saying.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
understand
yeah,
it in terms of practicality. I understand it in terms of today's times.
yeah,
But technically, you can connect with me without spending any money, if you think about it.
yeah. No, I know that.
Like some of the wisest people I have come across in my recent past are people who have no money, but fuck, man. There was a guy who I hired to give me a massage, all right? And I ended up speaking 4 hours with him. That guy lives in a jungle. He left the fucking city also. And he
Yeah,
doesn't have any money. He grows his own food. Everything is available to him for free: sunlight, water, the jungle, plants, seeds, everything. I'm available to you for free if you're going to come and meet me as a human being and sit down with me heart to heart.
yeah,
All the brotherhood meetups we've done till now are for free.
yeah. No,
So
I mean, I think I gave
I
the.
no, no. It's not that you gave the wrong this thing. It's that that is the architecture which is so deeply ingrained in us that today we can't think of even being happy without money. Today, even the idea of happiness is so attached to either professional success, financial success, relationship success. Like it's attached to a hierarchy. Do you get it? Even though happiness is such a neutral emotion, like yes, I know it's a positive side emotion, but it's neutral. Like, have you ever had those days when you wake up and you're just happy for no fucking reason? So you play your song and
Yeah,
you're dancing in the
yeah,
fucking shower and you're while taking a shit, you're rapping. I rap when I'm
yeah.
taking a shit, even though I'm fucking pooping, but I'm acting gangster with my head in my hand. So our state, the more dependencies are there when it comes to choreographing our state. That is how stateless we cannot be, if you think about it. Because the best thing would be to like without any state, because then you cannot be disturbed. Like if I'm happy and you come to me with a problem, and let's say my happiness gets destroyed, you give me a bad trip. All right. So, but this is going too deep and in a different direction. Fuck it. But what I'm saying is basically that there's too many dependencies normally for us in our architecture of our own brain in order to reach a particular state. But if you think about it, you don't need most of those dependencies, to be honest. Basic
I mean,
requirements of any living organisms are safety and nutrition. Like that's literally it. If you think about it, you technically don't even need a roof over your head to sleep, unless you're in a jungle and you're in a predatory environment. But in the city where people are dying to live in matchboxes, technically you don't need that. So the way we think is, first of all, not the way we think, it's the way which we have been taught to think. So it comes back to the same point of unlearning being more important than learning. Because then all of a sudden you start seeing everything. See, like you must have had friends who fucking have gone to these places and done shrooms or LSD, or you've got little kids
yeah,
on YouTube now talking about ayahuasca. They fucking don't even know what the fuck it is.
yeah,
All right. And their balls also haven't dropped yet, but they are talking to other people about ayahuasca. First of all, ayahuasca cannot be done sitting in India. All right. There is a
okay,
proper ceremony to go through. There is 6 months minimum of cleansing required. All right. And then you go into an experience like this if you're doing it in the right way. But today, people sit in hotel rooms and do any fucking thing. So as that's what I'm saying. Even with you, you must have had friends who gone to Kodai Canal, done mushrooms. They've done this, they've done that. They don't need any of this. They are doing it because it makes them cooler in some way compared to other people, and they have stories to talk about. But just imagine how sick it is if you need shit in order to have your own life stories. You have dependencies even for that. Why is it that like people think they want to work hard and then travel? Why do you There are people, like there are so many stories. There is this guy from Bihar, one of my teammates was telling me, Ronak, there's this guy from Bihar who has traveled to, I think, over 100 countries or something, just by walking.
okay,
He's just fucking walked and he's just crossed the border and walked and crossed the border. What the fuck? No visa, no passport, no nothing. Nothing. And then he fucking turned it into a career. So you see, he flipped the money game. Today, people think in order to make money, you need money in the first place. He made money from no money. Now, how would that be possible if he wasn't wired a different way? Because if you take that guy to a psychiatrist, most probably he'll be labeled as this guy is crazy. He doesn't know how the real world works.
Earlier, what I was trying to tell was, I mean, like, have you heard of Naval Ravikant?
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's a, I don't know, 40, 45-year-old guy, startup guy. He's a millionaire. But he knows that his happiness doesn't come from money. He
Yeah.
knows that his happiness is not coming from tech and startups, and he's not attached to those things. He knows what really life is. He knows that these things are created by society. There's money and all, but in reality, when you die, when you'll be dying, when you'll be taking your last breath, you'll know that these were definitely not the things that uh, man should man should have spent more time on, like, money, and he should have spent more time on, I don't know, experiencing things, or
Experiencing the
knowing
moment, my
yourself.
man. Experiencing the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
So, if you, I don't know, like, since when are you a subscriber of mine or what? Like, since when do you
I
know
mean, to
me?
be honest, I remember, like, my friend introduced to you when I was 18, and he was
Oh, wow.
you yeah, you were talking about some, how to keep your genitals clean and all, and you were talking in a very funny way. So for an
Yeah, yeah.
18-year-old guy who is watching YouTube for mainly entertainment, and when some a male comes and he's talking about these things,
Yeah.
and we, as 18-year-old, we all face these things, right? So it was very funny, and the way you
Yeah,
were talking, so that's when I got introduced to you. But lately I was not following you. But when I
yeah.
started my podcast, and also I was seeing what I mean, I had in my mind that I have to call you on as a guest. So I watched some of your Sirhud new channel, and it was incredible.
Thank you. So, what I was saying was that if you have gone through my main channel, the one which they're trying
Yeah,
to kill every day since
yeah.
4 years, I can show you the analytics. They delete my subscribers every single day. Okay. These, um, this particular channel had a video which I made probably 2017 or 18 called 24/7 Orgasm. Or, basically, the premise was that I want to live my life having an erection 24/7, metaphorically. Okay.
Hmm.
And,
In a euphoric way, right?
and I have been living like that. But that is when we are young and when we are discovering the limitlessness of that masculine energy, and it helps a lot. But then as time has gone on, what happens is that also you really want to stay erect 24/7, because what is the number one fear
Hmm.
that almost every human being has? It's basically death. In some way or another, it's ultimately death, that it's not permanent. So while I still live as per that philosophy, I have another philosophy to round off my life, which is that now I want to also live in a way where I'm ready to die any single day. Because then at least I'm not in the pursuit of something. I'm contented with wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, regardless of whether I'm still trying to reach particular goals, whether I'm still trying to um, make a difference to my life. At least today, if life ends for me, it shouldn't be with like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. It should be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Do you get me?
Yeah. So
So
to be honest, like, having this
yeah,
conversation with you, it seems like you are talking kind of spiritual things only, but in your way. To be honest,
I'm sick of this spiritual shit, man.
I mean, spiritual. I think the word is a little distorted, but you get what I'm talking, right?
The word is not distorted, the people are distorted. The word is just a word. The people using it are the ones who have created the distortion because they made it a market.
So, like, what would you say then? Your ideology, what it is like then, if it is not spiritual, or then what it is then?
What is not spiritual?
What is not spiritual?
Yeah, everybody's
Uh,
trying to ask
the,
what is spiritual and do that. That's why they put a tattoo on their
yeah,
breast,
I can.
you
I
know.
think I can. No, I can answer this question. I think
Yeah.
I can answer this. What is not? Ahankar, like you said, that is definitely not spiritual. Attaching to materialistic things,
How
I
is
don't think.
Ahankar? How is Ahankar not spiritual?
I don't think. I mean, for me, it is Ahankar is spirituality is not Ahankar. Definitely not.
Yeah, that's different. I asked what is not spiritual. What is not spiritual? And how can you say Ahankar is not spiritual? Let's come back to that. Yeah, we were talking about.
What is not
Uh,
spiritual?
yeah, and that's what I was asking you. Like, why do you think Ahankar is not spiritual? How can you say that?
Uh,
Where do you
yeah.
think the
Okay.
source of it is?
So, like, if you ask me, I can tell you how by contradicting, right? For me, spirituality is when you have nothing, when you don't have any image. Like, so that's why I think ahankar is when you are trying to be someone. You are saying that I am something. I don't know what you are saying that you are a businessman, you are a god, you are something. But
Hmm.
and if you say spirituality, I would be saying that I'm a life energy, just life energy, nothing else, nothing less, nothing more, just a life energy.
So what is Ahankar?
Ahankar is uh, an image that you have created of yourself, according to me.
Who created it?
It can be according to mainly because of two things. First is you have a self image of yours. I don't know how. I mean,
Who is you?
you as normal as a person,
Who is the person?
person, that being.
Who is the being? That life energy you spoke about, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So if that is the source, that is the same source from which even Ahankar was born. That is the same source which is powering this mechanical bodysuit of yours. That is the same source which is talking to me in order to find out more truth about whatever, or curiosity, or whatever. So there is just one source, but it is manifesting itself in multiple forms and multiple faces. Your animal instinct, which is not really your Ahankar, all right? Your drive to procreate and reproduce, all right? Which is a little separate from your Ahankar. But where is that also coming from? From the same source. Where is the Ahankar coming from? From the same source. Without Ahankar, how would you navigate through this world? You need Ahankar.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
you need Ahankar in a very clear manner, in a manner where at least you can see through it, regardless of whether others can see through it or not. You should be able to see through your own fucking ego. All right. So you can't go like, I will just from today onwards exist as life energy and nothing else. Sadhguru also has a Ahankar.
Yeah,
Sadhguru
definitely.
also has an ego. It is because of his ego that his company is able to sell seats for 15 lakhs at a yagya. Okay. So Ahankar is important, but the way we use it, I think, is probably even more important. For example, if I have a partner such as a wife, and if because of my Ahankar I try to suppress her, then I have really no idea about how I'm using my ego. But if I use my ego in a way where if my wife as a woman is trying to suppress me, the man in the marriage and in the household, but if I use my Ahankar to defend my honor and retain that balance of masculinity and femininity, because I know that if I let her succeed, even if it is out of love for her, sooner or later she will be the one who will lose any attraction to me and love for me. Then it is the right usage of Ahankar. It is just like if I hand you a fucking weapon. Why do we respect the military? They are in our streets with guns,
Yeah.
but they're not like the bastards in the fucking police. We respect the military because they don't kill innocent people. They defend
Yeah.
innocent. We don't respect the police because they take bribes from innocent people every single fucking day.
Yeah.
इंडिया में पुलिस की सिर्फ फौज से गांड फटती है, and rightfully so. And I hope it stays like that. I hope our military, our armed forces, like, salute to them. I hope they remain the way they are, because it is one of the best fucking armed forces in the world.
Yeah, I know. Whenever we see armed forces, there's a sense of respect. We want to salute them. There is no fear. I don't know. Like I notice it right now only. There is no sense of fear when we see them. There is always a sense of pride.
Yeah, there is a man with a gun.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Just imagine if tomorrow you go to a restaurant and one of
Yeah,
your localites is there with a fucking gun hanging around them.
yeah. I know.
It will surely make you watch out and be aware. But if there is a man in that olive green uniform standing with a gun, you will sleep more peacefully, not less peacefully. And a lot of people in our country, from the politicians to a lot of other people, even in the general public, do not realize that and do not respect that. Especially as you keep coming south in India, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, UP, all of these places which share borders with neighboring countries, they respect the army because they have seen what the army has done for them. But the people in places like Maharashtra and as you keep coming down, they don't have much of an idea because they don't share a border
Yeah,
with a state.
yeah,
So what do? Even at the toll expressway, they finger the fucking army people, even though before the army was exempted from tolls.
yeah,
But I have seen this happening since childhood because as an army officer's
yeah.
child, I have traveled all over the country. So the lack of awareness of how the world is run is equal to the lack of awareness of who is running you, in my opinion. You know,
Like the kind of guy you are, with your ideologies, with your philosophies. And so when you are in a group, when you are in a social place, hanging out with your friends, how does it feels? How does it feel to you? Like when they are talking about same shit, talking about
I
how I
don't have
want to
friends
increase
like
my.
that. I let go of friends like that
Okay,
a long time ago.
so like, do you think you'll
I
ever get
have like
married?
fantastic people around me, man. Like whether young, whether old, I have some beautiful people around me. I'm blessed that way. But again, like it didn't happen on its own. It happened with me making a lot of changes. So, like right now, there is a person here shooting me with a digital camera, and I am blessed in a way because at least I have somebody genuine with a good heart, and they want to
Yeah.
learn and stuff, even though they piss me off every day on a day-to-day basis. But I value them more for their heart rather than their skill. Now, this is not an excuse for you to fucking not work on your skill, okay? But the thing is that whether it's friends, whether like somehow I have for a long time just been coming across very beautiful human beings, you know, and like especially people like us, like who can sit down and share this kind of
Yeah.
a conversation as well as share this kind of a silence. Simply because if you think about it, I myself am carrying so much of that energy, that anyone who's faking it will not be able to come face to face with me. There are
Yeah,
friends of
I know.
mine from this social media landscape who before you would have seen with me, but today you will not see them with me because like even in their own eyes they are like, fuck, how do I, like, what do I do now, like how do I come in front of this guy. So
Yeah,
without
no,
me
man.
trying to be fearsome to anybody, they are already afraid. But why? I only have love,
Yeah,
and to be honest, if you want to be a genuine friend to anyone, you should
yeah,
abuse the fuck out of them when you see
yeah.
that they're doing
I know.
something wrong or they're doing something against their own true nature. I don't want to be the friend who's a yes man, you know. I don't want to be someone who's giving fake support or enthusiasm to somebody because I will lead that person down a very bad road.
Like,
So now, but you will see this change happening in society now that people are waking up to this. They can't stand fake shit anymore, even with themselves and with the friends that they are sitting with. You will find this the most in females. Any female now that you find that you are developing a good friendship with, Ask her, do you get along better with guys or with girls? 99% of the time, her answer will be guys. Because guys are lesser complicated and guys
Yeah.
don't have subliminal psychological tactics to destroy your social reputation behind your back, like how women do with their women friends.
Yeah.
And today, women carry more toxicity than men do. The toxicity which came from males, such as in the form of Andrew Tate or in the form of Mecta or in the
Yeah.
form of, you know, pickup culture, that toxicity was a rebuttal to the dark feminine side, because the dark feminine side was the bad side of, let's say, feminism, which wanted to be having the best advantages of men, but at the same time not have any of the duties or responsibilities of men. All right. So I want to have my cake and I want to eat it too. Doesn't work. We live in an interdependent universe. All right. I'm as dependent on my teammates as my teammates are dependent on me. I'm as dependent on my family as they are dependent on me. But this is not just about close human relationships, which we put a label on. I'm as dependent on Sadhguru as Sadhguru is on me, even though I don't
Yeah.
watch anything of his. But he's very dependent on me, and I'm very dependent on him. Because somehow both of us doing our own shit will help us as well as others figure out what is right and wrong, what is true or not. Everything is connected. All right. And even in terms of experimentation, there is that 6 degrees of separation. Like I'm connected to Barack Obama also, even though I would not want to fucking spit on his face also, but I'm connected to him via just 5 people in between or 6 people. I don't remember how it is. But I know what a, like just study about Jeffrey Epstein and the people who've been
Okay.
visiting his
Yeah.
island and everything. So,
So,
yeah.
tell me one thing, like now what things are you consuming in, I mean, form of books and
Nothing,
knowledge, like
nothing. I just consume myself. I'm like a biodegradable, recyclable. I'm Greta Thunberg in my own fucking body, bro. Like I create and consume, and I'm just like, it's a self-sufficient engine. So, I don't consume anything. If you actually ask me, like, what am I consuming lately? What I've been consuming is just beautiful, you know, automotive content. Like I'm really deep all of a sudden into engines and vehicles and
okay,
stuff like that. So I'm just really amazed with man's engineering when it comes to fucking locomotion. And
yeah.
that's why I'm enjoying whether it's riding an Activa, riding a normal bike, riding a good bike, riding a fucking anything. And I've got some like friends in Bombay. They have a workshop of their own. It's called Kick Shift, and they tune cars. And some of the fastest cars in India are being worked on in their garage. So like I'm blessed to have those friends because I'm able to learn so much from them. I'm able to gain so much inspiration from them. Is dead? Yeah. So can you connect the charger, please? So yeah. So like that's what I'm consuming. Like you know like because again and it's just I know another way of examining a human being in high performance and high pressure environments. Like if you will ever see like when we see a race such as Formula 1 or we see something
Yeah.
else, we just see the people going on the track.
Yeah.
We very rarely we think or we try to sit in the seat of that. If you will ever find a video of somebody going through a rally race or somebody going through a NASCAR race or whatever, and if you will just find a video where there is a camera on their seat and it's just looking at their feet, just look at the speed of the fucking footwork, the clutch and the acceleration and the
Yeah.
breakage, and you'll be like, wow, like it's art, it's genius to have that minuscule or response time in crazy situations.
So yeah,
So yeah.
I wanted to ask you one thing, that when we started the podcast, you
Hmm.
came more of like a dominant one. Although it was my podcast, it was like no, it's all cool. Although it was my podcast, it was feeling like you have invited me here to on the call. So what I wanted to ask was that when you are in a social group, like I asked earlier about your friends, when you are on a social group,
Yeah,
so like, do you also try
you'll
to
have to move
educate
that.
them or about your, your ideologies, your philosophy? You try to tell them what do you think really
No,
is, or
man,
you just chill?
I don't. Yeah, I just chill, and just through chilling, they go like, "What the fuck did he just say?" Whether it was in a
Yeah.
joke or whether it was, something else. But no, I don't go around. Like, I have many different versions of me. So, like, if I'm chilling, I'm chilling, and then I'm chilling hard fucking core. If I'm driving, I'm driving, and then I'm driving hard fucking core. And hardcore doesn't mean like, let's say, rash.
No, no, no. Yeah, I
I
get
mean,
it. I
like,
get it.
I'm in that flow and I'm enjoying it, whether
Yeah.
I'm chilling with people, whether I'm whatever I'm doing.
Completely on that moment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Uh, what else?
To be honest, my questions were mainly, like a typical podcast. I thought I'll be asking you a few things about masculinity and things that people will come and watch. But
Hmm.
I think if 100 people watch this conversation, I'll be really happy, because I
Hmm.
know that 100 guys or 100 people are there that really understands what we are talking, because this was not some just random algorithm shit that I'll be posting, right? That tell me about fuck boys or cheating and what are insecurities. But this is the things we have talked about today. I'm not saying that it's some super intellectual or all, but it has been, a conscious talking about.
Hmm.
I, to be honest, like in my 20-year old of life, I have never had conversation like this,
Hmm.
and that's why I love podcasts, right? Because when
Hmm.
I listen to these type of conversations, when I saw Sirhud Kalra talking with someone, talking with about these things, I just wanted to be there and I wanted to be with him, like to discuss my and to listen to him and to also tell him what I think of his opinions, and
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
that's why I love podcasts. Really,
Hmm.
it's more of that
Hmm.
conversation experience.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Yeah,
No, fantastic. And if you ever want to talk about like a particular topic like masculinity or something, I'm more than happy to do that as well. I hope this was useful for your time, and I hope it was beneficial in some way.
yeah,
So
it was.